Alright. Pokemon ZA. Was it good? Pokemon X was the first mainline game I played back in 2017, which was a while ago. Holy crap, I'm old. I don't remember too much of the game itself. I do remember struggling with the Elite Four, but not the Champion, which seems like it shouldn't be like that, right? And from what I can remember, I think it was because I was at a major type disadvantage, and that totally 100% did not happen at all in this one. So the story starts out with the most horrifying thing possible happening, getting trapped in France. And then you meet your side character 1, who is Tawny in my one, I think that's how you say it. And then you pick your starter, which I picked Chikorita because Meganium had the best Mega out of the 3, hands down. If you disagree, you're wrong. I want an apology. And then this game does possibly one of the best things any Pokemon game has ever done. It introduces you to Emma. I'm gonna skip a bit of fluff so I can talk about Battle City for 15 seconds. It's just France at night. It is a place where you have to fight other trainers to pretty much qualify for a rank up match, which would be way more tedious than it was because you have to go from Z to A, but once you hit rank Q, you just skip a few and hit G, but it's still tedious because you need to get 30,000 points and each trainer gives you around 700, so it takes a little bit. But if you have those bonus cards, you can do it a little bit quicker. Then the spotlight shifts from the Battle City to Rogue Pokemon, which they weren't too hard. Most of them were a cheese walk, but Mega Frostlass was the toughest fight in the game in my opinion. The orbs, she can clone herself and make a bunch of orbs, and it is a tedious fight. Gengar was also a little bit of a struggle, but he wasn't too bad. Then I got to the battle which I had heard was the hardest in the game, Mega Dragonite. I only ever heard bad things about him, so I came up with a cheese strategy. It was to use Toxic and take him out in 6 turns. I caught a Dragalge, gave it a Toxic TM, brought him into battle to find out you can't give Rogue Mega Pokemon status conditions. That was a fun thing to learn mid-battle, only for Dragalge to get taken out the very next turn. So I brought in one of my heavy hitters, Charizard, and he just dealt with it, When Dragonite used its most strongest attack, Hyper Beam, I'll just bring him back into the bolt, avoid the hit, and then send him back out, which I found out you could do in that fight. So yeah, lucky me. Which then leads to Luminos Tower becoming a giant flower that you have to help Zygarde defeat, and Zygarde also turns into a gun. I was going to jump straight into the team, but I've got to say something about the flower fight. So there's a blue one and a red one, right? This was one of the few battles in the game that took me more than one attempt. This fight was torturous. It was pretty much send out Charizard, have him use an attack, Charizard gets hit, send him back into the bowl, heal him up with a full restore, send him back out, one attack, repeat. Until Zygarde takes the tower out. It was fun, it was tedious, and I found out if you bring a Mega back into the bowl, it doesn't run out of Mega Juice. So that is fun as well. I went into this fight in the ballpark of 30 to 60 full restores, and I left with 6, so that was an expensive loss. Now, I suppose I should get into the team I used, which, as I said earlier, if you remember, totally wasn't at a very bad type advantage in this game. So for the first spot on the team, we have my starter, the one, the only Meganium. Next we have the rare encounter, I think, my Alpha Gyarados. And then on third place we have the most reliable one on my team, we have Charizard. Then in fourth spot we have Garchomp. Fifth spot we have the one I encountered the most doing the PvP battles for Mega Greninja, we have that gift Gardevoir. And last but not least, Aggron in sixth spot, who I caught to fight the Fairy Lady and who stood his own and got one tap, so Meganium had to come in and help. So, onto the topic of type disadvantages, you have 3 out of 6 of my team being weak to Ice with Meganium, Gyarados and Garchomp. Then you have 2 who are weak to Rock, you know, Charizard and Gyarados, then you got two who are one's temporarily weak, one's permanently weak. You know, you got Mega Charizard and then Garchomp who are weak to Dragon, and then you have two more who are weak to Steel, and those same two are weak to Poison. You got Mega Meganium for weak to Steel, and Gardevoir who's weak to Steel, and then you got Meganium who's weak against Poison, and Gardevoir who's weak against Poison. So lucky. And doing those online battles was fun because my team was Gyarados, Charizard, Gardevoir, and every trainer had a rock type attack or electric type attack. Oh, I think I forgot electric type. You got Gyarados and Charizard who are weak to electric. So yeah, fun. So for my final thoughts of the game, it's not bad, but it's most certainly not good. The graphics are alright as long as you're not looking dead on. I beat the main story in about 21 hours, but that includes me looking for a Gible and shiny hunting a Froakie and looking for like Pokemon to complete the Dex and getting lost. So you know, 21 hours, it's fine. But I haven't touched the post-game stuff. I haven't even considered it, so like I finished the game and I just put it down, haven't picked it up, got no drive to pick it up. I might do it when the DLC drops, you know. I might make a sequel, maybe, hopefully. But anyways, the main reason I did get this game was for Mega Greninja, since it was a limited time thing, and I heard you couldn't get it. So needless to say, I have Mega Greninja, but I don't have Chestnut or Delphox, because I haven't played it since I finished the game. And I heard only bad things about the game, and it's not true. The game's, it's fun. Sure, it gets a little buggy towards the end, but that's because you got like 6 Pokemon on the field all shooting beams at each other. That's gonna make any game go slower, I think. So yeah, that's Pokemon Legends ZA. That's my thoughts on it, at least. I was meant to make this video ages ago, like back when Mega Greninja was in the game. So what was that, like November 5th? It's been a little while since then, you know, almost a month. So yeah, hopefully I'll make another video before this one says 2 weeks ago. But you know, anyways, I guess that's it then. Best of luck, I guess, and I'm gonna go. Yeah, alright, bye.